WhiskyJason here. Whiskey from the viewpoint of an American in Germany tasting rare and exotic whiskey. And today I have a German whiskey from the newly founded distillery named St. Kilian. And this was actually made on the 5th of October 2016 and bottled on the 28th of January 2020. So if you look at the label here, you have a nice little picture of someone. This is the independent bottler named Whisky Druid. He also has a brand called Best Dram as well as Scotch Universe. So, and also Best Friends, I think, is also one of his brands that he has out there. Now, this is actually basically a 3-year-old single malt German whiskey that has spent its entire life in a first fill Amarone delle Polizia butt number 365. This is 58.9%, which is cask strength. This costs 54.90 euros over here, so about 55 euros, almost $70 if you'd like to translate it. And non-chilled filtered, no color added, whiskey base number 158624. Now I did the math. I took 749 bottles and multiplied it by 0.7 because these are 0.7 bottles over here in Europe. In America we have 0.75. So, but this is 700 milliliters, and I came to a total of 524 liters that were in the butt. Now, if you think about the angel share, a butt is the size of 70 some liters. So basically, Michael is his name, Michael Rieck. He is the whiskey druid. He went to the distillery, said, hey, fill up my butt. B-U-T-T, isn't that? Fill up my butt. Yeah, I know. And they did that, and after 3 years, the angel share of about 3% per year, 10% is almost gone, and ta-da, you have then these bottles. These are very, very sought-after bottles over here in Germany because Michael Rieck, the whiskey druid, is a guarantee for high quality. The quality doesn't really concern the distillation process, but rather the maturation process. So what Michael has is he has a lot of great connections to cask producers. So he knows the people in Portugal. He knows the people in Jerez in Spain. And he knows the people in the north of Italy where Amarone comes from. And what he does is actually he buys these great casks and he recasks his distillate into these casks, or in this case from the very, very beginning. And that actually makes the big difference. So you have a lot of different red wine finishes and sherries and ports and Amarone and Sultan and all these different other unique finishes that he has a lot of first fill barrels with. And these whiskeys are absolutely great. So let's take a look at the nose. The first thing that I notice is I don't get a whiff of, or I don't get a lot of alcohol. It is 58.9% ABV, but yet it could have been 48. The second thing I get is a plum. It's a sweet, like a Chinese plum wine. On top of that, I get some tobacco leaves, a little bit of a dark chocolate, and then a tiny little sprinkling of brown sugar on top. Now, I didn't get all that in that first whiff. I've done a video review in German. I've played with this whiskey a little bit, so I basically know what I'm looking for. For those of you who are like, he got all that on the first whiff, well, and there's a little bit of like a strawberry moment, a strawberry rhubarb moment in there. It's actually a very pleasant, inviting whiskey. Will you be able to find it outside of Germany? Well, no. Will you be able to find it in Germany? Well, it's almost sold out. There's 794 bottles, and I'm sure a couple people are going to bunker these, and you might find it on an auction site one day. Who knows? This is very, very nice. All right, cheers. Now, the first thing that I realize is, oh, it's 58.9%. The nose doesn't show it, but the mouth sure does reveal It's on the little stripe underneath it, as if you're beside a road where there's constant traffic. And that just there's an underlying amount of noise going on. That noise is the alcohol. And then on top of that is where you have the plums, you have the strawberry rhubarb, you have the dark chocolate, you have the brown sugar on top of that. It's all there, but a long, big part of it is that alcohol at the beginning, and at the end, and at the middle. I'm going to try to dilute this down to around 48%. Let's see if I did it. Last time I hit about 50%. A tiny little bit of that match moment came through, that phosphor. But still, I got a great plum, chocolate, brown sugar moment. Cheers. Mm-hmm. Mm. Mm. I would say I hit about the 46% mark. Nice. Oh, yeah. Towards the end, it has a little bit of a dry moment. I don't know if you've ever had Amarone wine. I have. What they do is they harvest the berries, the grapes, and they don't stamp them to wine or turn them into wine immediately. So what they do is they take the berries and put them up on the attics of the barns, and they allow these berries to kind of dry out. It's not a real raisin. The raisins are put out in the sun. These are under shade, but the alcohol remains in these berries, but yet the moisture is extracted by the air, and therefore they do look a little bit like raisins before they actually then are made into a dark, rich, sweet wine. This was actually very, very good. This is going to be a C plus type of whiskey, almost in the B minus range, but it's a C plus. I'm sure if I had this blind, I would go, well, I don't have any depth. I don't have any age here. Actually, when you taste it in like 46% as I just did, you get a tiny little bit. It's not metallic, but it's that youthfulness that comes through there. There's a lot on top with the Amarone finish, or the complete maturation, but yet it's not really there where it could be. It's not an 18-year-old whiskey. Now, there's a lot of whiskeys out there that have age statements 8, 9, 10, 11 years old. Can this whiskey actually compete with them? Yes, most definitely. I've had a lot. I've had quite a few of these under 12-year-old cask strength wine finish type of things recently. And this would be one of the better of those, to be very, very honest. All right, now what I did is I actually added water again. I'd like to take this down to like 25% and see if I can pick out any other nuance in where the water actually has created a ability to get around that whiskey, or that not the whiskey, the alcohol taste. Mm. Mm-hmm. No surprises whatsoever. The fruitiness, everything's dialed down, everything is diluted, but everything is still A-OK. Very good. St. Kilian is a distillery you should look out for. A whiskey made in Germany. The owner is a finance investor. Entrepreneur, investor, and he has a lot of money, and so he decided just to create his own distillery. Good job. Thank you, Andy. And he owns it exclusively, a little bit of a family company there, and so there's no rush. There's no reason why investors will, hey, do this and do that. He can decide himself. I know the master distiller very, very well, Mario. He is experimenting a lot with different casks, and now also there's always the possibility to buy some new make and do your own experiments with them yourself. I personally own 3 casks there at the moment. There might be a 4th or 5th cask coming in one day, so we'll see what happens there. But this is very, very nice. I enjoy it. As I said, a C+ for a ranking, a C- for the value for money, which is also fairly good in my system for a no age statement, basically 3-year-old. Well, it is an age statement. It's 3 years old. That was made, distilled on the 5th of October 2010 and bottled on the 28th of January 2020. 2016. I can't read my own writing. So, October 2016 and January 2020. So it does have an age statement, but it's not it's a very young whiskey. All right, thank you very much for watching. My question of the day is, what is your favorite whiskey that has actually a finish or a complete maturation in Amarone casks? Do you know of any? Please write them down in the comments. That would help a lot. Thank you very much. Like, subscribe, tell others, share the video if you'd be so kind. Maybe on Instagram or Twitter or Facebook, any place else you'd like. That'd be great. Thank you very much. WhiskyJason here. You can contact me anytime you want at whiskyjason@gmail.com. All the best. Bye-bye.